Okay, so Never Let Go. This is the new film from director Alexandre Aja. It is written by Percy Coughlin and Ryan Grassby. The film is produced by Alexandre Aja, Dan Cohen, Dan Levin, and Sean Levy. It is executive produced by Christopher Woodrow, Emily Morris, Holly Jetta, Connor Gregorio, Dan Clark, Halle Berry, Robin Kudert took care of the music, Maxim Alexandra was on cinematography, Elliot Greenberg edits the piece, Rich Delia was on casting duties, Jeremy Stambridge, production design, Ellie Best, art direction, Victoria Pearson, set decoration. Costume design is Carla Hetland. Hair, makeup, special makeup, we've got Megan Harkness, Ashley Forshaw, Naomi Backstad, and Corey Bacon. Our cast, and it's a small one, right? Not a load of people's up in this, but Mama is played by Halle Berry. Her sons, Samuel, is played by Anthony B. Jenkins. And Nolan is played by Percy Daggs IV. Father is played by William Catlett. The Evil is played by Stephanie Lavigne. The Stranger, played by Matthew Kevin Anderson. We've got the young girl, played by Mila Morgan. The old man, played by Georges Grecius. The young girl is also played by Candice Compton. The paramedic, played by Christian Park. So yeah, that is it, essentially. The gist of the film. Well, where are we? Here we go. So, I have lost where I was. Okie dokie. A family that has been haunted by an evil spirit for years. Their safety and their surroundings come into question when one of the children questions if the evil is real. Right? So, yeah. I mean, that's what it says. Right? Essentially. I mean, there is quite a bit to it. Right? There's quite a bit to it. It's an interesting one, you know. Now, the big thing with the film is it's all set around, right, this house, and the fact that you can't leave the house if you want to stay safe. You know what I mean? The house is the protector. And so to go outside, they use a rope. They tie a rope to the foundation of the house, right? Hence, never let go. That is that's the big thing with this. And so the mother is enforcing this idiom into the children, right? That you always have to do this. This is the only thing you can count on. This is the thing that will keep you safe, right? So we have this tight bond between the mum and the two sons. And they go out foraging together, you know, and they're just living off the land for whatever they can find. And I think you buy that. right? You buy this relationship between the family. You know, it feels real. You don't really get a whole lot of other information, right? The information we do get is via narration from one of the sons. I believe it's Nolan. I might be wrong. But yeah, because essentially they've been told by their mother that an evil has taken over the land, like taken over the world, and they are the survivors. There's no one else out there. Just them and their dog Coda. So it's all like, oh, fuck. Now, watching this film, I got a sense of there's something else. There's something else happening. Is the mum like schizophrenic, right? And there's something out there, like, has the world ended? Was there a nuclear attack? Like, there's things. I mean, there was a clear thing I did think, but we won't get into that. Spoilers and all. So that is the big thing that you suspect, right? And there's one bit when they go out at the beginning and Samuel steps on Nolan's rope and he falls, gets separated, and a whole heap of stuff has to happen and he gets safe and all of this stuff. But with the film, now, as I said, look, you buy the relationship. A lot of it is in the dark. So the use of shadow and the lighting is all really well done. It's creepy. I jumped a number of times. I did, people. I did. So you buy all of that. The thing with the film, though, which is a bit like, because, firstly, rope ain't the safest thing. Rope ain't the safest thing. So you'd be like, okay, why rope, not chain? You know what I mean? Why rope, not chain? Because there's a lot of rope. So you're just thinking, all right, you must have brought this rope to the house for this reason. So why didn't you bring chain? You know, because when you're like walking through the woods and like rope can get snagged on something, and if it's kind of like sawed over something, like it could break. Do you think a chain would be better? Then it's just like, why are you separating when you go out? All stay together. You know what I mean? All fucking stay together, and that's gonna stop any issues. So that there are things where you'd be like, I mean, you know. I did also think, because there is a moment of doubt with the children. Obviously, they're fucking kids. Kids will always question their parents at some point in life, you know. I feel that it could have been shown more, right? There could have been more things to be like, oh, yeah, this is why, right? Because some of it is a bit like, it feels a bit circumstantial, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I mean, I get it, but what evidence, you know? So there are those things about the film where you are like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. And yeah, I think that is one of the big ones. Like we get hints by the mum. Like she's like, oh, I was a different person then. Right? Oh, yeah, I have this back. She's got this tattoo on her back. And it's like, oh, I was a different person then. Now, it was difficult. I couldn't see the photos. Right? And so there was this one photo of her when she's younger. And the boys were shocked when she showed it to them. I couldn't really see the photo. So I don't know what particularly about it was maybe crazy, you know? At the very end, we see a photo, and I wasn't able to see that. Now, there was something I suspected when the photo was being taken, but I wasn't able to see to be like, yeah, you know, oh, mate, I wasn't right. Oh, there's something. Yeah, so there is that. But yeah, there are like certain things, and because of the psychological nature of things, right? There is bits where you think, oh, could there be something in the background? Right? Was there something on the ground that I didn't see? You know what I mean? Now, we do get a moment with food. And I was like, yo, you understand, if you haven't eaten certain food in a long time, if you eat too much of it, you're going to get sick the first time you then get into this food, right? It's like if you haven't ate sugar for ages and then you eat a load of sugar, that's going to make you feel fucking weird and ill. That's big. So there is this weird moment in the film with something along those lines, and you're like, yeah, something should happen at this point, but it doesn't. Yeah, that is the big thing, right? I think it's an interesting concept of a film, and psychologically, they do intrigue. They do create an atmosphere. They do make you jump. But to sustain, right, an entire film running off of this notion, it does get a bit harder because you do start to have questions, right? It's about an hour and 40 minutes. You do have questions. You are watching and being like, but what about this? And what about that? You know what I mean? There is that aspect of it. So, yeah, it's interesting. I do feel it could have, it could have carried more, right? There could have been something else to really bring certain moments to life. Like the use of music, the score, that was pretty good. It helped create this atmosphere. So those points were okay. And halfway through the film, we do get this thing that goes down that you are not expecting at all. Right? You're not expecting this thing. But after that, you feel there should be more things because now everything is on its head. And we don't really get a whole lot of other stuff, right? Other than this kind of situation with a stranger. But yeah, you feel there should be more things, right? There is a moment in the film when they talk about this harsh winter. We don't really see that it is a harsh winter. I think if you can see things maybe flourishing and then they're not, it gives you that note, right? But when it's just someone going, it's a harsh winter, but you don't really see any frost or snow or just anything, and because of where they're living, it's not like you're seeing a whole load of grass and foliage. You know what I mean? So you're not seeing a lot of stuff where you can see, oh, here's growth. Now there's no growth. Ooh. So yeah, the film does get let down at times by the lack of, you know what I mean? Like, so the lack of context, the lack of, of visual pointers, right? Or just certain reference points in a conversation where you can be like, yeah, that makes sense, right? Like, again, like, why not chains? Why not go in groups? Why not? So there are these things where I think anyone watching it will go, yeah, no, that's cool, but why not this? Right? Like, if you're going out, why not have extensions for the rope? So you'd be like, I need to go further. All right, let me attach this so then I can, right? Or you just set up like ropes and you just attach to the rope with like a carabiner type of thing. So you have trails already laid out. Because these are the areas we go. So let's set up this rope trail. Because if there's nothing else around, nothing else is going to fuck the rope. Right? So there are things which you will think about. And the film doesn't have any answers for you. So there is a lot of disbelief that is needed to be able to fully invest in this film. It's interesting, but it could have been more. It could have been more. Like, the performances are good, though. The performances are pretty good. But yeah, there could have been more. It's out in cinemas right now in the UK. I think it's already been out a few weeks in the States. But yeah, people, never let go.